In this video, we're going to talk about 3 ADU design ideas that you can incorporate into your plans, whether you're drawing your own plans, using an architect, using a builder who is kind of plan savvy, or any combination of those. Some of these plan ideas are kind of gimmicky, and so, they require a lot of work, but they are good examples of stretching your imagination to think about ADU design a little differently, flex those design muscles. Some of them are really practical, and you'll just want to incorporate them, or at least strongly consider how you could incorporate them. Let's cut straight to the chase and dive into some of the examples that I hope you'll like as you're watching the video. So this is called Hive House. I'm going to move my face over. It's located in Texas, and they had a really, already you can see why I've picked this one. It is wacky. The walls lean outward so that the top of the building, the second floor, is in some places larger than the first floor. They had a 320 square foot footprint that they had to work with because of what's called a utility easement. And if this pop-up would go away, let's make this up. Okay, so they had an easement, I think over here, and you should check if there are any easements on your lot, because those limit where you can build. The limit for this easement prevented them going past this line until they reach a certain height. And that's for public access to utilities and things like that. When they found that limit, they didn't let it stop them. They said, let's find a clever way to engineer this second floor to be hanging over that easement. That's pretty ingenious. And then they incorporated a lot of cool architectural elements like this really unique roof line and this window wall. The exterior, I think that's cedar, the little shingles. It's cool. It's cool, right? It's an art building, Studio 512. Here in the inside, you see a lot of other cool design principles at work. You can recognize this window wall from the other picture. Lots of light, makes the space feel big. Also, direct lines of sight that go uninterrupted. So from this chair, maybe you see out there, you don't feel like there's a wall right here. You're out in your yard. Vaulted ceilings, varied ceiling heights also make space look and feel bigger because your eye kind of finds a lot of things to play with on the ceiling, so it doesn't feel monotonous. Windows on multiple sides, so light coming in from multiple angles. Good trick. And then you see, let's see if they have a good shot of. This is interesting. You don't usually see this many lights that are hanging down because a lot of people prefer recessed lights. I wonder if that has to do with saving space on the floor between these two stories. Another cool angle. Kind of see they have this covered little patio area. Pretty neat. This window must be at an angle. That must be funny. Bathroom, they did what they could to keep it sizable and breezy. Sunlight gives a lot of light to it. Doesn't look super accessible, but this is a 320 square foot footprint. So you got to do what you got to do. Cool rough finishes, rough concrete. Ooh, nice little office area at the top of the stairs. I've seen, this is a bonus idea because I don't have it in this video, but I've seen people do a standing desk at the top of the staircase in a tiny house. So if you're into standing desks, you don't need a whole desk area. You just need like a fold out table. That's a neat little bonus design idea. And the bedroom, which has built-in closet. And again, these little concave or trapezoidal room shapes. Just vary the ceiling height. Make things look really interesting. I don't know if you want this in your house, but it certainly stretches the imagination of what you can do, right? It's like, whoa, there's a lot. All right, now let's look at another house in California. This is another small one. It is 414 square feet. It's called The Vine. And I think it's impressive because when you go through these pictures on Instagram, it's hard to believe that it fits in 414 square feet. Like there's no crazy walls like on the last one we looked at. It's just a clever use of space. So here's the outside. It's a smooth stucco and wood siding. This picture doesn't really show it, but there's a gigantic garden out here. Here's a better view of that big old garden, stone path. But you see, she's got windows everywhere. Carrie is big on light in these spaces, and they're very tall ceilings. If you think these are like normal height doors, it almost is twice that in the ceiling size. And that's because ADUs can go up to 16 feet high, right? And that's not quite enough to do 2 floors most of the time, but it's enough to do really tall ceilings. This is, I don't know if this makes the space feel bigger or not, but all of these are curbless, like zero threshold entries, which just, it's good universal design. You know, people don't trip. You can get in here with a cart or a stroller, or if you have accessibility issues, and then there's no ridge, there's no threshold to break up the space. So in some ways, it just flows into the outside. It's pretty cool. This is another angle of that same living room that shows the couch and how, okay, around the corner, we start seeing the kitchen. Also shows light just streaming in through all of these walls. There's a lot of opportunities to put windows in. Here again, another angle of the same room, built-in storage cabinet, bench. Anytime space can be multi-purpose, that's great. So these cabinets are the dining seating for one side of the table. They're also a bench, a reading nook. They're storage, and they just serve a lot of purposes. And they look good because they're finished and they belong. So this wall, it expands as it goes off to one side, which we talked about in the Hive house. Varied roof lines are a great thing. This is a shed roof, so it's pitched in one direction, and it kind of lets the eye kind of like go woo and open up. Gives you the opportunity for these trapezoidal windows, which also kind of vary things up and make things look dynamic and interesting. And even in the shortest part of this room, where the ceiling is the lowest, she's got a mini split. That's how you do air conditioning and heat in a lot of ADUs. A wall-mounted TV and this built-in storage. And it doesn't really feel crowded. They still stage some, whatever that is, some plants here. So it shows, these walls feel spacious because there's so much light, so much window. And then the games they play with lines, like these trapezoidal windows in the shed roof, they really open up the space. All right, this is the kitchen. So you can kind of see the same windows we were just looking at before in that built-in. But now you're in this hallway kitchen, and instead of having an empty, useless hallway, they have a wide enough space that you have a kitchen on one side. And this doesn't really show it, but that floor plan, like on this side, you've got storage, built-in closet, laundry zone, and bathroom access. So it's a little narrow. If you live in your kitchen, this probably isn't the floor plan for you. But it shows how you can have a very large, wide countertop. This is bigger than my house's kitchen from the 1950s. And it's still incorporated into the space. You're not losing any space. This is the one bedroom in the unit. It's queen size bed. Again, this shed roof, when you're laying in bed, the ceiling is going away from you, right? It's opening up. And so laying there, you don't feel like the ceiling is closing in on you. You feel like the ceiling is going the other way. It's giving you a lot of space. And again, this picture doesn't show, but the layout on the other side, there's a built-in closet, which is pretty cool for a 414 square foot house. Okay, here's the picture that shows the bathroom wall. So this is the access to the bathroom, the laundry center, and this is cool because what they'll do is they'll drop the ceiling on a space where you don't really need the ceiling to be super tall. So this is the entry to the bathroom. When you're walking into the bathroom, you're going through a doorway anyway. So it's okay to drop the ceiling right there. And by dropping the ceiling, you create this extra storage space. That's cool. Here, by dropping the ceiling, they actually fit, I think that's an all-electric water heater. So that's a really cool thing there. It's not taking up ground space in your house. You're elevating it, and it operates fine up there, and you're saving yourself that floor space for something like a laundry center. Then when you go into that bathroom, you can kind of see there's a carved out space where you can put storage, furniture, and then a big enough space. Again, she's into accessibility. A very large space in the bathroom. Oh, and pocket door. So if you've got a door, make it a pocket door so that you can save a bunch of space and not have a big door swinging back and forth, right? This is a detail of the shower. So in this bathroom, once you turn this corner, there is a curbless shower. So again, zero threshold, kind of, sometimes they're called Italian showers, I think. But, lots of tile all the way up to this tall threshold on the ceiling. And that gives you a sense of immense space, right? Lots of tile. And it's this beautiful white, just open space. And then they stop and they recess the ceiling a little bit farther. So again, those varied ceiling heights. And then they put a skylight in. So the light feels like it's coming from this window that's much higher than the rest of the ceiling, and the ceiling is already high. And then the tile all the way up the wall, it just adds and adds and adds and adds layers of openness, right? So cool tricks to use. I have nothing exciting to say about this shot of the bathroom. It's a cool bathroom. Anyway, sorry, that is an ad. So that's the Vine unit. And what's cool about these is that if you like the floor plans, then Carrie Shoresdiller, the architect, and Josh Larson, they've designed these for other people. And so they already have the plan set, and they'll sell it to you, and you can start with that plan set instead of starting from scratch. And they've got like 24 of them. So because they've designed all these ADUs for other people, you can take advantage of that instead of starting from a blank page. I do work with them in transparency, so that is my disclaimer. And I work with them because I think their designs are awesome. The third one I want to show is a place called Bunch Designs. This is their Cottage ADU, and they're based out in SoCal. And I'm not going to go through as many details because I'm less familiar with the homes, but I think this one picture actually shows two really zany things that they do that are really cool. One is this stepped vaulted roof. And I've said varied ceiling heights a lot by now, but doesn't that just look cool? It's a signature piece. It draws your eye. It stretches out the space along that one plane, and it looks amazing. It looks as rich as any kind of wood beam ceiling, but also has this geometric, just very architectural feel. I don't know what that means. It just feels architectural to me. And then you can see they've put a lower ceiling on this one part. That's probably a bathroom or something, but that lets your eye go above it and play, and there's just so much to see, right? That's one of the cool things that they do, and I've seen this in multiple pictures from them. Another cool thing that they do is look at this really long window. Now, how do they normally? It's hard to do windows the whole length because you have to have 2x4s or 2x6s that go up and down the wall. If you look here, these are the framing boards. This wall isn't very thick. That's an exterior wall, but they've finished it in a way where you see the exposed framework, and it's part of the finished architecture. Normally, you've got a framing crew that comes in, and they're going to put up all the framing, and they know that that's going to get covered, right? It's going to get shear wall and insulation and drywall hung on the interior and stucco on the outside. So they don't have to think about how it looks. That's rough construction. And then all the people who are finishing stucco on the outside, or the drywall on the inside, and then that guy tapes and putties the seams in the drywall, and then somebody paints it. Right, they're the teams that have to worry about finishing, right? But in this style, you're telling your framer, actually, your work's going to get featured in the finished product, and that's just really interesting. I don't know how hard it is for framing crews to adjust that mentally, but the finished product is pretty stellar, and it gives you these unparalleled windows. Here's another great example. Again, you see how thin that wall is. But there you are. You get to the exposed framing. for the finish. I think that's cool. And here's another angle of the ceiling where you see how it steps down instead of a traditional flat surface, one plane. Anyway, I'm going to put links to all three architects in the video description below, and I plan on doing more videos about architecture and design. So subscribe to the channel if you want regular updates about what's being done in the ADU space that's really innovative and different. Here are some videos about how to actually go through the nuts and bolts of building your ADU. And here's some more videos about kind of like design ideas and value engineering and broader topics like that.